All right, bonus video time. It is the evening of Friday, August 26th, I believe. Yes, Friday, August 26th. So we spent today out in Lamar Valley looking at buffaloes, and we came and have our evening dinner spot here at the top of Mammoth Terraces. Mammoth at the Terraces. And I decided after having a couple of drinks that I'm going to do something we've never been able to do before. We've either done the upper terrace or the lower terrace loops, but we've never been able to go up to down or down to up because we've never done the car shuttle yet before. But I told Mom to go meet us down there, so we're going to go down. We're starting here at the upper terrace. We will be back here in a couple of days and do Mammoth proper, so I don't know where this video is going to fit in, whether it's going to stay at the end of Friday or if I'm going to put it at the end of Sunday's video. But oh, yeah, no one's here. So we are here at the upper terrace, and we're gonna head down and go meet them down there and walk through the entire terrace. But again, we will be here another day to do these terraces. So in the sunset, in the gorgeous weather, I am drinking. It's developed boardwalk because this is all very delicate rock. They don't want bajillions of people walking on it, but we're gonna go from top to bottom, enjoying the sunset and enjoying the boardwalk with literally no people here because Mammoth is technically closed down due to the flooding this spring. You can't go in and out of the north entrance, and the hotel is open. Is the campground open? No, the hotel and campground is open, so you cannot stay in Mammoth. So this time of the evening, it is pretty much a ghost town. So we're gonna get to enjoy the terraces at sunset with nobody. Something you don't ever get to rarely see. But that's levels of travertine, so there used to be a geothermal feature there at some point that built it all up. I'm gonna go up here really quick to this viewpoint. Look at the spring here, because I saw an old dead spring here. So you can see water used to come up there. Water used to come up there. Those are old spring pits. Water is currently coming up over here and draining back down to there, but it's properly flowing that direction. And we're gonna head down there. There's the hotel and the cabins and the campgrounds down there, and old Fort Yellowstone's down there. I'm sure I will do a more informative video on that later, but this is just a alcoholed up, thank you, Locust cider and Bullet Rye whiskey after dinner. But this is just a cruise, a speed run down below. I should take some pictures too, you know, that would be the smart thing to do. I got too many things in my pockets. What's up?
There's a proper travertine terrace right there.
Mm-hmm. Chippy? Oh, look at that Chippy. So all this, so when it's pearly white, it is active. When it's gray, there is no active water flowing out of it. So all this had to be built up by water at some point, and as you can tell, it's cracking and falling down and yada yada yada. But this is an active spot where water is coming up. That's why it's all nice and pearly white. When the water's coming out just right, with the mineral content just right to where it flows down and forms these terraces, these travertine terraces. And the smell, if you could smell it, it smells sulfury. It smells kind of like rotten eggs. You can see it's called New Blue Springs. There used to be an old Blue Spring, but this is what Mammoth Terraces is all about. Mammoth Hot Springs is all about, these terraced hot springs. The nice, gorgeous, pearly whiteness of the travertine. Absolutely gorgeous. And this is one of the highlights of the park. And again, when the north entrance is open on a normal year, when you don't have a 500-year flood come through and destroy the road, the north entrance is the either the most popular or second most popular entrance people drive through. It goes between the north entrance and the west entrance out of West Yellowstone. So most people coming into Yellowstone either go to Old Faithful first, or they come through Mammoth first. And this is the first thing they see of the Yellowstone National Park, is this gorgeous mountain of terraces, appropriately named Mammoth Hot Springs. And all this boardwalking normally carries thousands of people. Of course it's not, because this is special, so I figured extra cool. But you can see it's built up hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of vertical feet and probably thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, if not millions of tons of travertine have come out in various places, always changing. Different years over the decades, different stuff comes out. This is what it looks like when it comes down. Again, that pearly white goodness is fresh, and then the yellow stuff is some hotter stuff. So when it's gray like this, it means there's no active water and little chippies running about. But normally, when you can actually drive through the north entrance and stay at the hotel and stuff, there's thousands of people on these boardwalks every waking moment during the summer. So having it all to ourselves like this is pretty freaking rare. But that nice pearly whiteness is the good stuff. And you got all this out here was built up at some point by water leaking out through those springs like that. So there's an active spring over there. There's an active spring way up there, but there's nothing there in that midground. So that's leaking out and going all the way down there. And there's a little bit of leak out there. And there's that one leaking out there, and there's another one up on the far side, Canary Spring. And then there's this one down here. I also took a long exposure while we were eating dinner, looking down from the top, so you'll be able to see some of this stuff too. You'll be able to see this boardwalk and stuff too, because we were eating right up there, pretty much, looking down on this. But this is just too cool. Every time we've done Mammoth, it's hot because there's no cover here. You've climbed up 1,000 feet out of Gardner, Montana to get up into the park. It's hot. The sun's out. There's a cajillion people. You don't really get to mosey about and enjoy it like this, which, understandable, this is one of the main attractions of the park. I hope thousands of people come visit this, but to be able to see this by ourselves is pretty unique. Again, it's all about silver linings. Yes, the flood sucked, but it gives opportunities to those willing to take it. You can see the build up here. So there used to be a spring here because you had that rim build up there, so there's probably something came up there and leaked out and came down, but that's been a long time ago. So there's some terraces, the two main terraces, the main terrace, Mountain Terrace, Minerva Terrace, Cleopatra Terrace. We just walked through Cleopatra Terrace, and we're just gonna cruise along. Here's a bunch of open, consistently flowing water. So you got a spring on this side, or is it actually all just flowing down from this one? It's all just flowing down from this one.
Three dippers. One,
And then there's a
three.
nighthawk or whatever they're called there.
Dippers, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4.
So let's see here if I can point this out. So yeah, you got the dippers fishing here, but you can see where it's coming out of the side of the terrace right there, where it's gushing out and creating all this, and it flows under the boardwalk, collects over here in an old terrace where there used to be a feature coming up, but not anymore. And then it continues on and cascades down. So you can see there used to be an active feature there that would come back down this way. Killdeer, that's what they're called. Killdeer, I remember now. So there's a bunch of killdeer grubbing about. So the white stuff is hot, and as you get to the greens and the browns, it's where the bacteria can grow, so it gets cooler as it comes and cascades down. And the grays, the dull grays, is dead stuff. There's no active water coming off of it. But the white stuff is the nice hot stuff. So there's a fresh spring there, there's a spring coming up there, and it's all cascading down underneath the boardwalk and calcifying the boardwalk. You can see there's the boardwalk, the post of the boardwalk being covered up and being terraced in, which is just super cool. And then all it rimming up in here, it's just extra super cool. It's so weird being up here and there being nobody else here.
I know it.
Is usually mobbed by thousands upon thousands of people. There must be a baby or something they're chasing off. Parents chasing off here. Mound Spring is what this one is called. But don't be fooled, that water is hot and it is acidic and it will burn you. Those poor little killdeer aren't immune, just like the buffalo that come and drink out of the springs in winter. And eventually it silicifies you and calcifies you and kills you off. Makes you hard on the inside. I did hear that. I don't know if the camera picked up, but dude elk just bugled off here somewhere. We might be hanging out here for a while then. if the boy elk just bugled off. I'm gonna put this in a pocket here so I can actually take a picture with my phone, so Sabrina knows what she missed out on. God, that's so cool. Oh, that's so cool. Again, come to Yellowstone. There he goes again. I hope you caught that. I hope the camera picked that up over the terraces. Not that the terraces aren't cool. Yeah, so all this white stuff in here is actually looks like it's freshly dead and bleaching out before it turns to gray. So I lied. The water's there, and it's missing here.
South and it was mobbed with people on foot, cars on the road. There's probably 150 people hunting one elk.
Yep.
Can you see him? I cannot see him, but I heard him.
He sounds like he's in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Up in the draw up there, in the tree draw. But all the girls have started to come out, and there's probably a dozen of them that are starting to come out in the grass. I'm assuming he's going to join them here in the next half an hour or so.
He smells them, I guess. Oh, he knows they're there, yeah.
It's probably his harem. He's just sleeping still.
He's calling to him.
Down. God, that's such a cool shot. I'm gonna take a short video of this on my phone too and post it to YouTube under the Yellowstone Shorts thing. It's just too cool of a shot not to. Get the drippage there. There we go. Oh, that's the water better. So, again, to reiterate, at some point there was an active spring up there somewhere that caused the water to cascade down this and deposit all the travertine and all the silica and stuff there, and then that died and a new spring opened up here and has dumped that all down. In between those two springs, these trees had a chance to grow in the travertine and come alive. Now they've been killed off because they are absorbing the very silicious water that's killed themselves off and plugged up their root system. But just look at this. I mean, why wouldn't you come enjoy this? Like, yeah, I've got some alcohol in my system, but why look at that fucking shot? Just why wouldn't you come enjoy this? Like, this is a very special situation, but why wouldn't you? I'm gonna get a video of that too. Why wouldn't you enjoy this? Like, this is just, I don't know, man. Like, this is what made me want to get a geology degree. Like, just the intricacies of building these terraces is so cool. I think I'm going to take a time lapse of this also. But like, this is just Mother Nature at her finest almost. And now that the sun's gone down and it's cooling up, you start seeing the steam. I can feel the heat coming off the water still. You can see the drippage up at the very top rim. It's forming the stalagmites or the stalactites, whichever one it is. And then you get down here and it just starts forming the mini terraces. And then that stick there is being covered up in silica. Actually, that was one of, oh crap, that's me moved. Crap, I moved this. That was actually one of the early souvenirs of the park, was you'd come in by railroad to Gardner or to West Yellowstone, and then you'd take a stagecoach up to Mammoth or Old Faithful, but if you come to Mammoth, they would put things like mugs or pens or other things in the travertine, in the Mammoth Hot Springs Terrace, in the travertine, and you'd let it sit for a couple of weeks, and then you'd pull it back out and it'd be completely silicified. And it was, I mean, it was cool. It was damaging, but it was cool. It was not the worst thing they could have done, but they didn't know any better. When you've only got 10,000 people visiting a park a year, you could kind of get away with stuff like that, versus 3 million people a year. You can't get away with that anymore because you just destroy the features. So it's cool stuff, but I'm just gonna let this time lapse run for a little longer after I goofed it. See how it looks. I think Dad disappeared and he's got bored just waiting for me, but he's walking down with me. So I'm gonna let this run for a little bit more. This might become its own video. We're running for like 15 minutes. This might become its own video. Let's see, will that time lapse last long enough now? You know, I'm trying to do multiple things at once. Oh, that's so cool. Yep, that works. So we'll walk down. Yeah, Dad's waiting for me way down there. And of course, I'm blabbering. But you see, this is starting to cave off. You can see the layers form there with the little circulations there and layers as it builds up, and the water deposits and the water deposits. But this is all deposited by water. Just the superheated water coming up from the base of the supervolcano, all the hot water coming up full of minerals, depositing as it slows down. And just, could you imagine, like, how cool would it be to be here when that's actively dumping out water, that just free falling down? They probably wouldn't, they wouldn't have built the boardwalk here if that was free falling down, because that'd just be too much hot water dumping on the people. That'd be dangerous. But how cool would that have been? When you come down here and all this water's coming down, look at the terraces. Just look at all that. And there's 2 more springs down there, but just, I mean, yeah, there's going to be another video. There's probably going to be another video. We'll come visit this for real, because I've got a day marked out for Sabrina to see all this. So we're just going to be here, just here for a day, and we'll see all this again. But I mean, just how cool is this? So that nice poofy pink thunderheads out there is where we were out in the Lamar Valley watching buffalo all day, hoping to see a wolf. We didn't see a wolf out there, but on our way this direction we did see a wolf, one lone wolf. Dad got a couple of decent pictures with the big expensive camera, but as soon as we stopped, he realized we stopped and we're looking at him, and he took off the slope and went over the ridgeline. But just how freaking amazing is this? Like, why wouldn't you want to preserve this for all time? Like, keep humans from destroying this. Preserve this as it has been for the last 600,000 years since the last eruption, or who knows how long Mammoth Terraces has been building. I'm sure somebody may have been done a scientific paper. You know, someone who's a, see, this is Minerva Terrace. It's kind of dead at the moment. Minerva used to be, obviously it was alive when they put the sign in. It's a new sign now, but that's just telling you that's Minerva Terrace. But I'm sure somebody, a quote-unquote real geologist who's got their master's degree, their doctorate degree, not some low-life like me that just has their bachelor's degree herpa farting about. I'm sure somebody's dated how long the terrace has been forming. But since the last eruption 600,000 years ago, who knows how long it's been building. But why wouldn't you want to protect this for all eternity? I'm going to get on my soapbox now. Why wouldn't you protect this? Keep the thousands of people, let the thousands of millions of billions of people come and visit and see and enjoy it, versus letting some couple of crooked CEOs with their companies come and harvest it for some geothermal energy plant and destroy it all. Not saying Iceland did the wrong thing, or New Zealand's doing the wrong thing, or the people down in Nevada are doing the wrong thing, but I mean, this is just too special. Like, Yellowstone was made to protect geothermal. See, that used to be a spring there, so that hole there, water used to come up and it'd flow down that way. Now it's died and the water's coming up somewhere else, but that used to be an upwelling spot where the water would come out and go. Probably not named because it's probably been dead longer since before they built the boardwalk, but that used to be a spring there. That used to be a spot where the water came up. But why wouldn't you? Like, this is too cool. We're not even gonna get to the religion thing on whether or not a god exists and yada yada, and he built this, but why wouldn't you want to protect this? Why wouldn't you want to protect the buffalo after you almost made one of the coolest animal species in the world go extinct over selfish reasons? Bring back the wolves, protect the grizzly bears, all of it. Protect all of this. Old Faithful, Steamboat, Mammoth. Why wouldn't you want to protect all of it? I mean, the national parks are really America's greatest, best idea. Democracy, that came from the Greeks. Yes, we quote unquote perfected it and made it work for the last 300 years. But preserving nature's beauty and preserving nature before developed humans come through and destroy it. Why wouldn't you want to see what Mother Nature and what the earth looked like before humans started changing it, for better or for worse? And this is at its finest. You've got 2/3 of the entire world's geothermal features here. You've got the last of the actual American Serengeti, and again, an old geothermal feature used to be here, creating these terraces and flowing down. It actually killed off all these trees. It probably was a dead one. They grew, it reactivated, it killed them all, and then it died again. But why wouldn't you want to protect it? And protect it for all time, let everybody come enjoy it and come see it, just to show off what Mother Nature can do. That's my soapbox. We're back down to the road. We're gonna go look at the elk that are coming out, because that's the other thing Mammoth is famous for, is the elk coming and grazing on the manicured lawns in front of Fort Yellowstone. So we're gonna go look at that, but I'm behind, so I'm gonna kill the video for now, and I'll talk to you later, YouTube. This has been Brandon Scott and my dad in the background with Coulee Outdoors in Yellowstone, hanging out, doing our thing. I'll talk to you later. Ciao.